YouTube, author Stephanie Newell, and this is the Life of a Writer channel. Today's video, the biggest mistakes that writers make. So if you want to connect with readers and sell more books, make sure to subscribe and get new content to your inbox every Tuesday. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 5 biggest mistakes that I see new writers make. So let's get started. Mistake number 1, in no particular order, writing too much or writing too little. Now, they are both challenging in their own ways. For example, writing too much is difficult to edit down. So if you've written, let's say, 140,000 words and you needed to have written 80,000 words, there's 60,000 words that you need to cut. You've become attached to the story. If you're writing fiction, there are characters and scenes and plots and subplots that are happening within those 60,000 words that you need to cut down. So having to edit down something that you've already written means in most cases that you're also going to have a rewrite. Now, for those people that write too little, you have already developed the story in your head. So if you've written 20,000 words, you feel like you've told the story in every way possible. You've developed the characters, you've developed your plot, and you've done that within this short amount of words. And then I come to you and I tell you, no, you should have written 80,000 words for that particular genre. That's 60,000 words that you now need to write. So for a lot of people, that feels very frightening because they have already creatively shut down and stopped writing. So my recommendation is that you do research prior to you starting your manuscript to figure out what the word count is for the genre that you write in. That way you're not writing too much or too little. Mistake number 2, not being sure of your genre. So sometimes I have people come to me and they have an idea of what their story is and they just dropped it into a genre and they don't read that genre, so they're not sure if that particular story that they've come up with is really a part of that genre. The problem or the flaw in that is if you've written a book where you're not sure of the genre and you place it in the wrong genre, the expectations of that target audience may be completely different. So you really want to be clear on what your genre is for your manuscript so that you can meet the expectations of your target audience. Mistake number 3, not knowing your characters or plot if you write fiction, or your theme of your book if you write nonfiction. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory, but the reason why it's really important to know these details before starting your manuscript is because it gives your book direction. Mistake number 4, not reading your manuscript aloud. Now this is a especially useful tip for those of you who write fiction and you have dialogue, because you can read your dialogue aloud to see if it sounds realistic, if it's too wordy. And for those of you who write nonfiction, same thing. Read it aloud, see if the words are flowing, if it sounds good, if something jumps out at you, it probably is going to jump out at your reader as well. So this is your step 1 in beginning to edit down your manuscript. Mistake number 5, self-sabotage. Now this is one of those mistakes that I've seen play out in a couple of different ways. For some authors, they may be seeking perfection, so they're constantly working on their book for many years, and then they ultimately don't end up publishing. And then there's other authors who don't make their book a priority. So in other words, no matter what comes up, if it takes precedence over their book, they allow that to happen and keep putting their book on the back burner. So if this is something that you struggle with, the best recommendation that I can give you is to set small, achievable goals and to have a plan of action in the event that something happens that throws your schedule off. How are you going to write your book despite whatever has come up? If you want to connect with readers and sell more books, make sure to subscribe, and also check out my previous video where I share some additional mistakes that new writers make. As always, all of my social media links will be in the description box below. If you're looking to hire me as your writing coach, you will find that information there as well. And I look forward to talking with you in my next video.